Welcome to Rock Talks. Today we're talking to Elias Soriano, singer of Nonpoint. We discuss their latest single, Ruthless, the current new metal revival, touring with Vinnie Paul, the correct pronunciation of his name, and more. Hello, Elias. Welcome to Rock Talks. How are you, man?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me.
All right. So let's start this interview.
Definitely. Good to talk to you today, Pierre.
All right. So let's start with the song Ruthless, your latest single, right?
Yes.
I was listening to the song. It's really good, really catchy.
Thank you.
Reminds me a lot of the development days, the statement days, the early Nonpoint, but it still sounds current. So it's like a good mix of both sounds.
Thank you.
So good job on that. And it's doing great on the charts, right? It reached number 35 on the Billboard Top 40 mainstream rock charts.
Yes. We're excited right now at the reaction, and it was a fun song to write. You were correct to catch the earlier styles peppered in there, and a lot of the new layers that our new producer and our new songwriting is sprouting these days. So I'm glad you caught that. We're really proud of this song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not like Nonpoint is repeating themselves. It's like you are influenced by the early stuff, but you are trying different things as well, because this is like a new sound actually. So it's like I said, like a mix of early Nonpoint and current Nonpoint, right?
Yeah, well, we hope people recognize that everybody's got to grow a little bit, and this is the evolution of what we want it to be. And I feel like Ruthless, a lot of the songs on this EP will show a lot of the sides of Nonpoint that people have probably missed for a long time, but also to a lot of layers to a lot of the new music that you enjoy now. There's parts of that music that we enjoy too. So, like BB King said, if you want to do something great in music, find somebody you love and borrow something.
yeah, that's a good saying. So what's the lyrics about? Because I had the chance to read the lyrics, and it says, in my opinion, it says something like you have to keep pushing forward. You have to keep trying harder. It's kind of like a suicidal tendencies philosophy. The band, something like that, right?
Well, we definitely tried to. I think the sentiment is leaning towards really realizing that sometimes just being nice and being fair isn't enough. That sometimes you have to be risky. Sometimes you have to be dangerous. Sometimes you have to be vulgar to get your point across, and sometimes even to cross the finish line. So we wanted to challenge ourselves with our songwriting, with the lyrics, with lots of things, our business, our independence, a lot of things. And that I feel like is in our music now as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds like real life, man. You have to speak up.
Yeah.
To get things done.
Yeah, it's not always sunshine and rainbows all the time. You gotta
Yeah.
Sometimes life gets tough, and you gotta to get through that. Sometimes you gotta push yourself a little bit past what you even feel like is fair for yourself, and sometimes you gotta get ruthless.
I agree 100%. So I saw another interview with you, and you said that you're planning to release 4 EPs with 4 songs each, right?
Actually, three
EPs. Oh, correct.
Yeah, and then a final body of work. We believe we're going to put a final body of work together, and he talks about doing double album. We're being very fluid and giving ourselves. We're not painting ourselves into any corners, but we do know that we want to do 3 EPs, and we feel like breaking them up into EPs allows us the time to give artistic representation and time and promotion to each one of the songs on each EP. And then we'll move on to the next one and give everybody that next,
so is there
version
like
of Nonpoint.
So is there like a special theme for every EP? Like maybe the first batch of songs kind of like the fastest or the hardest, the second batch?
I think people are just gonna have to wait to kind of find that out. We are currently writing the second EP. We're almost done actually writing that second EP, and it's staying heavy. It's very heavy. It's very heavy, and it's very very stark, I would say. It's not polished at all. We're just gonna hit them really hard with this one.
Sounds promising. So is there a release date for the first EP?
Right now you can get it on pre-order. You can go to nonpointstore.com and get the pre-order. Ruthless is the only one that you can really get your hands on right now. The 7-inch, the vinyl, is going to be available soon. So you can get that on pre-order as well. That will have a B-side to a song that our fans have been waiting on for basically a year now. We did a cover campaign on our Instagram and across all of our socials where we asked our fans to vote across. We started with 64 songs. I believe we broke it down to 32, and then ran 16 on the page. And then at the end of that, they chose a song, and that one is going to be the B-side of that 7-inch.
Mm-hmm. And why did you decide to release EPs instead of a full length since the get-go? Let's say maybe because people's attention span nowadays is not like they don't have the time to pay attention to like 60 or 50 minutes of music, so you have to release them little by little.
No, I think it was more about consumption, and when I say consumption, I mean, people want to listen to new music and they want the next thing, but they want it represented. I spent 20 years of my career with people walking up to me going, God, I wish you guys would have dropped this song, and wish you would have done this with this song. And by breaking it up into EPs, we're able to split our budget up into one small body of work and give all of the songs its moment in the sunshine, and give each one a little bit of artistic visual representation. So with a lot of these B-sides that people love on our records and what they deem album tracks that they wish they had seen a video for, we're gonna try to accomplish that by the time all is said and done.
All right. Sounds great. So you are come again, please.
It's going to be quite an undertaking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So you're releasing this. You will release those EPs with your own label, right?
Yes.
360 degrees. What's the name? Sorry.
361 Degrees Records.
All right. So
yes.
Tell me about this experience about going independent, because you were signed all those 20 years of your career with Nonpoint. You were signed with different kind of labels, right? But nowadays you are doing this on your own. So what's the difference? I suppose there are upside and downsides about the thing.
Upside, yeah, there are lots of upsides and lots of downsides. For us, it was more about having an opportunity to move at a pace that we wanted to move, control the budget a little bit more, give ourselves the time and release a little bit of the pressure from delivering music. And that's what we were looking for. and really, you know, after 20 years of doing it, sitting down as a band, we ask ourselves, you know, we're constantly, you know, can we do this better? What if we had done this? And you never are going to know unless you do it yourself, you know, or at least, you know, and after 20 years of doing this, you know, I've been on a lot of labels. I've released a lot of records. I've done a lot of music videos. So the basics and understanding the business is there enough to allow me to know how to put together a smart enough team to do it the way that, you know, not only we feel like it should be done, but also to in a way that's new and really goes against traditional ways of doing things. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing that we've never done as a band with any label that we've been on. And, you know, a lot has to do with budget and timing and staff. And it's by no fault of anyone's really, it's very expensive. And that's the downside is, you know, with labels, they have very large staffs. Sometimes they have small staffs and sometimes we have small budgets. So it doesn't leave a lot of time for certain things to get done quickly for whatever reason. And, you know, we can only blame ourselves now. So whether it does well or whether it does bad, you know, we can put it on ourselves.
Let's talk a little bit about the past. I remember you guys played the Ozfest 2001, right? Second stage?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What do you remember about that experience?
It was a really good experience. It was a lot of fun times with a lot of new friends. We didn't know a lot of people. A couple of people we kind of knew, but we became really lifelong friends with a lot of people from that tour. So it was really about the companionship and almost summer camp kind of vibe that it had.
Yeah, you guys shared stage with, if I remember correctly, Drowning Pool, Slipknot, American Head Charge,
and Hatebreed, for a short time, Disturbed, and then Mudvayne eventually ended up closing that stage. Yeah, it was Hatebreed, us, Taproot, bunch of bands. It was a good bill.
Yeah. I wish I was there.
Yeah, it was something to remember.
Yeah. So since we're talking these bands, they're still great. Well, most of them, some of them are not around anymore. Lately, some people is talking about this new metal resurgence. You know, this new metal comeback, especially because of new bands like Tetrarch. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly, but this is a new band by Napalm Records that is killing it. I get the chance to hear a few songs and they are really good. And they have this kind of new metal band. Did you get the chance to listen to that band?
No, not yet, but I will definitely be checking them out.
All right. But also, you know, Mudvayne is coming back, you know. So do you believe that there is actually a big new metal comeback on the metal scene?
I hope so. It you know, when it started, it really didn't get the name until about halfway through what it was.
Yeah.
I remember when we were already a band and it was more about rap rock and it was always called rap rock. And then all of a sudden everything was new metal. Then a lot of bands got folded into that really, some of them weren't rapping and rap people that could actually flow started pushing away from that and trying to reinvent themselves to, I guess, get away from the stigma. In every single description that anyone ever did for us or any bio, they always put new metal. So it always followed us wherever we kind of went. So the fact that it's coming back, that's great for us. But you know, we've put out records consistently. So for it to come back and be so welcomed, and for us to feel like we're writing some of our best music. It's universe puts you where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, actually, Nonpoint is one of the survivors of that whole genre, right? Because, like you said, you get putting out records and touring all over the world since basically non-stopping, right? Non-stop.
Yeah. So we've kept the Nonpoint business going. You know, there's lots of bands of that time and even before us, like Seven Dust and lots of bands that are still doing very well and still putting out and writing great music. So it's all butter. It's all good.
Right. I was checking out the discography, and I knew that you guys did a Phil Collins cover in the air tonight, but something told me, like inside me, there is another cover by Nonpoint. I remember there must be another cover, and there is actually a Pantera cover. 5 Minutes Alone.
There's a couple if you dig. There's a couple you got to dig. We did a Santana. More. We did a Santana cover of Evil Ways.
Really? Wow, that's a great song, man.
Yeah, we did a Santana cover of Evil Ways. We did an acoustic cover of Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. We have an acoustic cover version of I Shot the Sheriff by Bob Marley. What's another one that we've done? We've done Snot Snooze Button.
So are those like B-sides or rarities?
Yeah, that were actually recorded. You find them if you dig. Like I said, if you dig around, you'll find them. Yeah, the Snot one. The Snot one's one we did live, so you only find that one on YouTube somewhere.
So what made you pick all those songs? Because they are very different from each other, right? Especially Phil Collins and Bob Marley, Pantera.
It was honestly, it was all timing and vibe, and it's just how you're feeling at the time, and the song happens to cross your lap, and you're like, hey, let's try this one. With the In the Air Tonight one, it was years before Miami Vice picked it up for the movie. So for us, it was about having time left over in the studio. Our label saying, hey, have you guys ever considered putting a cover on your record? And we were like, yeah, we futz around with it on the first record with the tribute medley. So we weren't completely against it. So we started tossing around some names, and at the time we had a crew guy, Scott Drost. Credit him for this, and he was like, you guys should cover In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, you guys basically from Miami, freaking, I was like, man, I love that song growing up. I know that song backwards and forwards, man. And it's a pop song, so it'd be fun to make heavy. Yeah. And that's why we chose that. So yeah.
And it became a hit pretty much, right?
Well, it's definitely up there. It's like
one of the staples.
It was our most streamed song underneath Bullet, our most daily streamed song underneath Bullet. But now Ruthless is beating that out. So
that's great news, man.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, that's pretty good. We're pretty excited. We're pretty excited about what's going on with this song.
That's amazing. So since we're talking a little bit about Pantera, I actually had the chance to see you live back in February 2008 in Michigan. Yeah, it was a hell yeah tour. Traverse City, if I remember correctly.
Traverse City.
I don't remember the name of the venue.
Beautiful city.
Yeah,
a lot of beautiful lakes up there.
Yeah, I was amazed. I knew your band, of course, since like my high school days. I was like, yeah, Nonpoint is great. I remember those first 4 albums. They are great. But when I got the chance to hear your voice live, I was like, man, this guy is even better during the shows. This is amazing. Yeah, I was really amazed, and I don't get surprised that easily. So
Well, it's a
My
different experience. Our show is it's definitely a lot more intense than the than the
yeah.
CD.
All right. Yeah, I agree totally. And you were the opening act, so maybe as like the headliner, you're even better. So my question is, what do you remember about touring with Vinnie Paul?
Vinny's a sweet guy. He's very gracious. He was a say very quiet, very sweet, gentle man, and he loved to cook and entertain his friends. Um, he loved being in rock music, and he remembered you, which was which was pretty crazy. And if he loved you and loved your music, he wasn't scared or too cool to tell you. And once he was your friend, he was your friend forever.
So he will be missed forever.
Definitely.
Very, very good. An amazing drummer, of course.
Yeah.
So, are you guys maybe preparing some songs in Spanish because you did that in the past, right?
Yeah, we're actually talking about putting a Spanish song on one of the EPs. So we're gonna use each one of these EPs to basically cross off the list of everything that we've had on the list for years.
Great, because you are from Puerto Rico, right?
I'm Puerto Rican Dominican. Yeah.
Are
I'm,
you or your parents?
Well, my
Both.
father was Dominican. My mother's Puerto Rican, so I'm 50-50. So I have a temper and I dance real good. So there you go.
That's a great way to describe Latin people, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And if you want to shut me up, you got to tie my hands behind my back because I use my hands to talk.
Yeah, because I remember when I saw your name like way back, like year 2000, 2001. I saw Elias Soriano, and it was like, this guy's from Peru, maybe from Chile, because this the name and the last name is like from Latin America, right?
Yeah. Soriano is very Dominican. That's a very Dominican name on the island. Lots of Soriano. It's originally from Spain. It's from the town of Soria, and Soriano means of Soria. So yeah, it's in the Iberian Peninsula.
Yeah, we have some Soriano around here in Peru too.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I met a couple actually. So last question, Elias.
Yes, sir.
A few weeks or a couple of weeks ago, you talked about like the Dave Ellefson situation. You know, the video on Twitter and all this stuff. Did you get the chance to actually call Dave and show your support or try to talk to him?
No, I haven't. I haven't spoken to Dave yet. I'm sure he's pretty buried in it. And I met Dave on tour, and he's, like I said, he was a very sweet guy. So I just hope that he gets through what he's dealing with no issues. I really don't dive into the Twitter sphere or dive into the tabloids. So, to be honest, I really don't know the full scope of the story or really the basics of the story. So I've been so buried in the band and worried about promoting the song and stuff. I had just heard about it on that interview, and I was like, oh wow, I hope he's gonna find his way through it, because like I said, he's a sweet guy.
Yeah, maybe that's the best thing to do, right? Because in my case, I didn't actually see the video, and I don't want to see it. So it's like, okay, that happened, all right, let's move on, right? So maybe the advice to the people out there is mind your own business, right? You don't need to get into the dirt because to gossip or things.
Yeah, it's I don't, like I said, I don't know what happened. People have bad days. People have stressful days. I just recently was, you know, I'm constantly trying to be a better man. You know, I am not perfect by any means. I'm sure I've burned one or two bridges. I'm sure my mouth has gotten me in trouble on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
But
That's the Latin blood running.
yeah, exactly. All I could, I'd love to blame it on that. I would, but it doesn't fly in some instances. So I just try to do better, and I pray that other people do the same thing. You know, I really do, and I hope that people reflect. It's really about self-awareness and realizing that you have a ripple effect. So, you know, even the smallest word can you know, go far.
Go
so
further.
You got to be careful.
I agree. So is there anything you want to add to wrap up this interview?
No, stream Ruthless right now. If you haven't, get your daily dose. It's free. So just get on there and give it a listen. Add it to your playlist and have fun with the song. There's another fun one coming up right behind. When? Oh, very soon. Very soon. You'll see. We're letting people chew on Ruthless for a while. And then the pre-orders got to finish up. So we want people to have their eyes on the pre-order. You know, go to nonpointstore.com and support the band. It's really what supports us the most and helps us to keep doing this and keep releasing songs. So we hope you guys will support that and support the song. Just stream the song. All right. I just came up with one last question. Is there any touring plans for this year already? Maybe next? We are definitely going to be touring definitely by the end of the year. We have a couple festival shows put together, but we're looking for the right band and the right package to really put the ticket together. We spent a lot of time doing all of this stuff with Ruthless and making this so perfect. We want to make sure that we do the same with our next steps with touring. Step by step. That's good. That's great. No rush. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Elias. This was great. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for pronouncing my name right. Elias Soriano. Elias Soriano. Thank you. not Elias Soriano. No. Elias Soriano. Elijah. You're Elijah, right? No, there's no J in that, sir. There's no J. All right, man. God bless. Take care. Thank you. You too. Bye. Bye. Bye.